Different cities too. Between city and city,
Yeah.
are different. Right now, but the train is a real old. You can imagine it's still using by steam. So that train have two speeds, low speed and super low speed. Take 2 hours and 35 minutes from Bogota. Building is 100 years old.
100?
Yes, and it's in great condition. Colombia, the city where the process of the mix between Hispanic people and indigenous people was here. Was super fast. Long time ago, the more value mineral in the world was salt. No emeralds, no diamonds, no gold. The real value mineral was salt. for when we don't have electricity, the only way to preserve food was salt. So the salt was number one. Also, the salt is using for cook. The salt is using to give it to the animals, like cow, horses, and porks. But the salt is using for like in medicine. Is using if somebody had an accident and is a bleeding, the people put salt for stop the bleeding. So that was, the salt was very important and very expensive. For example, in that, okay, that city is the city of the salt.
Yeah.
But in that city, for 1 pound of salt, the indigenous used to pay 5 pounds of gold. You can imagine that building in the corner was the more important building during the colonial time. Used to be one hotel. The old construction used to be the Europe Hotel. That was the main plaza. It's a beautiful plaza. The more beautiful about that plaza was the church. The church. Yes. That used to be the Justin Palace. It's not anymore. Now it's a tax building. Is gonna paint in 2 colors. The typical colonial houses is gonna be painted in 2 colors, like that house in the corner in the left side, red and blue. That was for political issues. In Colombia, like 60 years ago, we only have 2 political parties. Same thing like United States, Republicans and Democrats. The people used to be very passionate for political issues and paint the houses depend your political party, or red or blue. But 70 or 75% the population in that town used to be blue. So most of the houses used to be blue, but changed the government, and the new government used to be red. So the new mayor of the city start to give you better jobs and better salaries to the red people. Blue people was not happy with that situation and start to burn the houses, the red houses. The people from the red houses try to defend your property, start to burn the houses too, the blue houses. So at that moment the city was a chaos, because everybody was burning houses. So the more smart people start to paint the houses in 2 colors, red and blue. At that moment, nobody knows what is your political party. Let's see if we have parking. That is one of the highest points to see the city. I'm gonna make one small stop here. because every place have different music, different kind, different style.
Yeah.
That park called the Independence Park, Parque de la Independencia. Until 2 years ago, the people have permit to paint the houses with another colors. Before, every single house need to be white and paint the doors and balconies in red and blue. But now, we take a permit to paint whatever color people want. For many architects, that is one of the more ugly churches in our country from outside. Because if you notice, the first floor no match with the second floor. You know, it's completely different material, different styles. If you notice, in the first floor everything is a square, but in the second floor everything tried to be like round.
Yeah.
It's because two different architects make long. Okay, the history, that is a very old church, 237 years old. In the beginning, one day the king of Spain sent two architects to create one church in one city close by here. and that two architects come in and sleep in the corner, in the hotel, in the Europe hotel, because that hotel only receives people from Europe. Stay there for one night, the another day is gonna be continue the trip. But the people, the Spanish people who live in there say, hey, I know are you architects, I know you coming to make one church, but we had one trouble. We are a Catholic and we don't have church. So before to leave, you need to design our church too. And remember, that is a criminal. So the two architects feel intimidated and create one, basically made the design for one church.
Yeah.
The first architect say, okay, I want to make the first floor, and the second architect say, okay, I don't want to work for free. I want to create one building completely different to the first floor, because in the future, when it's going to make the church, it's going to be called us back. At that moment, we want to receive our money. So that is the reason one guy created the first floor and another one created the second floor. With the pass of the time, the people just made the plan and leave and quit. Another architect received the plans and made the building like that. When the king of the can rent one apartment, one new apartment for rent, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, to no more than $300 a month. So if you live with 2 more people, you pay $100 for rent.
Yeah.
Food is cheap too, and women's, oh my God, so beautiful, so many. So many. It's a rivers. Rivers and rivers. Beautiful ladies. I had one friend, and he's from India. He already come here and already get married twice. He's from India, but he studied in Canada. But his parents are still living in India. He's got money. And the guy tells his parents he come here to speak English. He speaks Spanish to learn. He speaks Spanish like 2 years ago. He speaks perfect Spanish. But he said that for his parents still send money for him.
Yeah.